Hello and welcome. We're watching the countdown over and over, and I just forgot to go live. So, hey, welcome, brother sewing and crafting family. We are so excited to see you again, beginning of another week. So, say hi, say where you're from. I'm Angela Wolf, and we have.
I'm Joanne Banko from Ohio.
And Cindy Hogan down here at the bottom of the Brady Bunch.
This is very fun. Hey, Wolfpack, I see you all rolling in. They're all very excited today. We just started this blog hop, which is going to be very fun. So, all right. So today we have a really fun show for you. And guess what? It's December 1st, meaning we're going to start coming up with some great holiday ideas, maybe some funny ideas, AKA ugly sweater, right?
Yep.
Or maybe ugly pretty sweater, or like Joanne does, ugly and then back to pretty.
I make mine plain, then I make it ugly, and then I take all the stuff off and make it pretty again.
Definitely. So as we go through, you guys can ask your questions, as you always know. And if I miss them halfway through, or I don't want to interrupt the girls while they're showing, or we're showing something, we'll catch them at the end. So just keep asking. All right. So, oh, hey, Colleen. She's got her luminaire too. She's loving it.
Woohoo!
Good job. Excellent. So, Joanne, we have to start with your project first, because I have the Brother blog up here.
Okay.
And I'm going to share that with everyone, because this is always a great place to go for some quick ideas, fun tips. So here is the blog. And the first thing I see on there is something that you have. So you got to tell us about this. These are so cute.
Okay, so those are designed to be place cards, but they could be a greeting card as well. I had a lot of fun making those. So that's the free design of the month. So that's already posted there. And then you'll also find it on embroidery.com for the month of December. So
there's
great to
embroidery. Don't forget about embroidery. I keep this up here because everyone's like, where do I go for that? It's right there.
Yeah, right there on the front page, you'll see it. So these are really, really just fun and easy. I have to tell you, I was joking before that I've made so many greeting cards over the years that I could practically, put Hallmark I could practically put card companies out of business with the cards that I've made. I almost never buy a card. I love making them, and I have a really special method to do it. So let me just talk about that one a little bit first. These are, like I said, really fun if you're doing. That one upside down? Okay, there's one there. I did 3 different ones. And I made up all these people. I don't have an Uncle Vic and I don't have an Aunt Ellie, but both of those names sounded so good I couldn't resist using them. But these could be.
Joanne, that just means that somebody's going to come on here and say, hey, I want those. So you better be ready to mail them to somebody.
But these would be fun for table setting. So if you're having a small, your family, to get together or whatever, everybody's, playing it safe. But these are a little bit oversized. And I did put in the blog post just, a fun idea. Whether you like it or not is up to you. But, to make the holidays more special, you could actually write a note and stick it inside and maybe have a special memory from that particular person from past holidays, or, give them a little something just to remember how grateful you are for them. Tell them you love them, all those things that if you're putting the time and effort into this, as a place card, if you add a little note inside, it's going to be a card that I think they're going to cherish for years and years to come. So
that's very cool. Actually, Kelly wants to be your Aunt Ellie.
Oh, it's fun making up names, but
here's the blog post. You always do such a good job with the directions too. Easy to follow.
I changed the colors. Okay, so if I change the colors from what they originally are on the free design, I always show you what I changed them to. I almost never leave well enough alone with colors. A lot of it's just because of whatever background you're putting it on. If you want it to stand out, I wanted to use silver metallic. If you can see it in the,
oh yeah,
finished picture. So in order to have that silver metallic show up on the background, I needed to change so that I had a dark background for that to, to show up on. So in person, they really, really glitter really nice. And part of the reason I did that is because I've added a little effect to there that I call needle punching. So I'd be really curious to know if anybody has tried this on their machines, because it's something that we've got on a variety of our brother machines now, that you can turn off the upper thread sensor. So if you do that, you want to remember to turn it back on when you're sewing with regular thread. But what I've done is I've stitched right on the cardstock itself, and I just buy blank cards, using a leather needle. And believe me, I've tested every needle possible, and a size 16 or 18 leather needle works the best for this. Just pick a straight stitch or triple straight stitch and sew along the cardstock, and it will punch the most beautiful holes so that you can then take some type of thick embellishment thread. I had some silver thread, thread it through a tapestry needle, and just literally, you know, in and out, up and down, and fill those holes with that, and tie a ribbon in the middle. So it's just a really fun technique. I've made lots of cards where I've used that needle punch effect with different frame shapes, different stitches. It's really fun to experiment with. And I know, you know, a lot of us have gotten so used to doing machine work all the time. Yes, you could stitch right on the cardstock with a decorative stitch. That would be another option. But there's something really just soothing about going in and out of, you know, fabric or even paper like this or cardstock, and sewing just those straight stitches and filling those holes. So it's a fun way to make something really, really special. The reason the leather needle works so well is because a leather needle actually has a wedge shaped tip. So it punches the biggest hole that I could possibly get from that. So that's how those are decorated.
That is such a great tip. And I just see a couple of people saying you actually sewed on paper, but I'm leaving this screen up here because I have to say, I never knew this was even on the machine for a long time. And this is, you guys see this is where you can see that on your machine. Now, everybody has a different machine, but
it's on quite a few models though. But like I said, make sure that when you're finished, that you go back into your setting mode. That's where you find it, with the little notepad page that takes you to the setting mode, and turn that back on, because if you do, you know, have a thread breakage or run out of thread, you want it to sense that most times. But in this time, if you turn it off, then the machine's not going to keep warning you. Now, technically, you can do this on other machines, even if they don't have the ability to turn that off. It's just that every few seconds, the machine's going to holler at you and say, "Hey."
There is a trick, Joanne.
Yes, there is a trick. I know. Yeah. You want to tell it, Cindy?
You can thread it, and you can tape the thread up. And
that is true.
It will let you stitch.
That's a sneaky way to do it, but it's possible. Yep. Definitely possible.
Just don't run the thread through the needle.
Okay. So thread the machine with thread. I'm just making this clear for everyone. So they're like, not like, what in the world are you talking about? And then you just like, don't thread it.
It's got to go through the tension disc, and it's got to go through the take-up lever. And then after the take-up lever, you would tape that tail to the machine and leave a little slack so it could go up and down. But that's where the warning would come. Okay. Right, Cindy? Am I right? Yeah, I haven't done it for a while, but yeah.
This is called hacking.
It's fun. I've done it on a lot of cards. Like I said, I've actually even done it in embroidery mode, where I've changed the, change the needle. I mean, change the, to take the thread out. And poked holes in there too. So, and if you don't have a leather needle, you could do it with a regular needle. It's just that you're going to have to poke a little bit more when you're doing the stitching with the tapestry needle.
Did you try it with a wing needle?
Yeah, I did. I tried I tried everything. I tried giant jeans needles. I tried a wing needle. The leather needle worked for me. It worked the best. Yeah.
I love this. Lisa, this is a great idea. She uses it when she has enough bobbin thread. She knows she can finish, because the machine tells you can't finish. You know what? That is a great tip, because I have never done it for that. And I can tell you, there's a handful of times, not many, but there's a handful of times where you only have like 2 stitches left, where you're like, I'm going to use the hand wheel or what?
Definitely. And you don't want to stop. And when the machine stops you, you're like, no, don't stop. I want to keep going. So, it's only, your machine is only trying to help you, right? It's only trying to help you.
Ignore the message and keep going.
Exactly. But it'll keep hollering at you.
And it keeps stopping you. I'm showing your great photos on here. This is what a great idea. And, especially now, we're all trying to get so creative on things. We have more time at home to do this. And she says, I just let the machine holler at me.
So if I could take a minute, I thought I'd just tell you how I do the whole greeting card process. What I did on these is I did it on stiff felt. And then when I was finished, I trimmed it down to size, and I literally stuck it to the face of the card. But my method for greeting cards, I actually have it on my website right now, one that I've done with a monogram. So it's the kind of thing you could do for all occasions. I love doing these and just even making a blank card, and I'll tape a message inside, but I won't actually write on the inside of the card. I'll do it with a monogram or some pretty design, so that if they wanted to, they could reuse that card, or kind of frame it or keep it on display. But what I do is, when I design it, is I use my edit mode, obviously, on the machine, and I create a whole scene or message, whatever I want to say. And then I usually add a frame design. So I'm going to show you one that I just finished. I'm getting ready to send this off to some friends. And it's, of course, on the stiff felt. I cut the felt. You buy it in big sheets. I cut it into 5x7 pieces. I create my design to fit the 5x7 hoop, but I keep it a little smaller than that 5x7 area, because you're going to see what I'm going to tell you to do next. The next thing I do is I add a basting stitch to the outside, and you can't see it on this one, so I've stitched it out just on a plain hoop. And that basting stitch, you can resize it once you form it. You can just go in to select it just like you would a piece and part of a design, and resize it. And I resize it so that it's really close to 5x7, and that gives me a position to place my felt. And I can't find my felt, so I'm going to use a piece of cardstock instead. So once I stitch out that basting, then I take my felt, and that gives me a guideline for where I need to place it. Now I'm going to end up trimming that felt a little bit when I'm done, but that helps me keep everything straight, because you've got those lines, to keep you in a guideline wrap, like that. And I tape it down with low tack tape. Test the tape. Some tapes will tear your cardstock, and sure enough, you're probably going to mess up one cardstock somewhere along the line. So save that one for your testing. But the clear tape that I use, that type of, it's like a medical tape, that doesn't seem to affect the cardstock that I have. So once I've taped that on there, then I stitch the whole thing. I always add one of the beautiful Brother frames around the outside edge. And now when I'm done, I'll just literally take this off, take my tape off, tear away the tearaway. I hope that basting stitch was done on tearaway. And then I use a rotary cutter that I keep as an extra, one that I use for cutting paper and things like that. And I just trim that felt so it's just a little bit smaller than my actual greeting card. And then I take these sticky dots. They're like craft type things. They're just that little clear, thin, sticky, and I place those on there. If I'm in a big hurry, like I know the mail's coming soon and I got to get it out there, I finish it up really quick with those. But if I'm not in a big hurry, then what I do is I go to my machine and I select a really narrow zigzag, and I will just zigzag that piece of felt that I've trimmed right to the front of the card. And when you look at the inside of the card, then you see that zigzag stitching, and it just kind of it makes it known to everybody that you've crafted that card on your sewing machine. And sewists and non-sewists alike get a big kick out of that. And then I simply put it in an envelope with a stamp. That craft felt is thin enough that I've never had one returned for insufficient postage. So I just put a regular stamp on it. And as long as I just put one piece of paper on the inside with my note on it, I'm good to go. So I always keep blanks on hand, and I'm ready. And I keep the white felt. Everything looks good on it. The beauty of this is that you can stitch virtually any embroidery design you want to. There are some great designs out there that are designed for stitching on cardstock, and I've made lots of those too. But they always leave the back side with showing stitches, and if you don't like that, you have to cover it up somehow. This way, that back, not so pretty side is attached to the front of the card, and you don't see anything on the inside. So they always look good on the inside. That's my method.
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to take you girls out. That's not what I was trying to do here.
If you want to see my monogram version, you can find that on my website, and the entire project for the brother one is on the blog.brothersews.com.
Yeah, and Joanne, when you were talking about the shipping, I was wondering if you're going to have to use more than one stamp on that. You don't have to.
No, like I said, I've done many, many, many of them, and everything's fine.
So here it is. And you guys keep asking about the website. It's right down below. So look down below. There's the blog.brothersews. I also have a link to, or not a link, but you can see there's Joanne's website, my website, and Cindy's website. So when we're talking about different places, you can see they're all down there scrolling. But there are a few questions for you.
Okay.
On here, by the way, there's also a PDF that she has for you to download. And don't forget, you can leave a comment.
Yes, please comment. We appreciate your comments. They're very important to us.
We love those. Jackie says, beautiful. I agree, Jackie. So someone said, let's see if I can find it. It was something about would you ever use craft foam for this? I don't think I would sew through craft foam, but
craft foam perforates. It, when it's stitched, it actually is designed to break apart from the stitching. So I don't think you would be successful with that. Now, having said that, though, go back to felt. You can use regular felt. I like the stiff felt because it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. But if I don't have it, or I'm out of it, I can't get it, or I want to use a different color, then I use regular craft felt, and I fuse interfacing to the wrong side to stiffen it up. And I use the type of interfacing that you would use if you want to make a really crisp collar. And it's not quite the same as the stiff felt, but it's a pretty good substitute. So that'll work too.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And again, like I said, the beauty of this is you can use almost any embroidery design that you want, because most embroidery designs, stitch beautiful on felt, and you're not limited then.
So that kind of answers Lucy's question, because she was asking about, is there different thicknesses of felt? And you just answered that, which is exactly what you just said. I see
somebody as glitter felt. I'd be a little careful with that, only because I don't know how much of it might come off in your machine. So think about that. And I will tell you that this type of felt, I'm tearing mine away while I'm at it here, is a little bit dusty, just a little bit, but not only enough that it's going to get, a little bit on your presser foot. And it'll probably dull your needle. You're not going to want to embroider on Dupioni silk after you finish making one of these greeting cards. Make sure you change your needle, but it works.
And Liz, that's a good idea. 3D puff embroidery on the cards. That'd be cute.
Yeah, if you can add embellishments. I have done where I've added other things, ribbons and buttons, and then in that case, I do take it to the post office to make sure that it's I'm going to get through with the postage or have to add extra or whatever. But the sky's the limit. You can have a ball with this. I mean, it's really fun, and it's very inexpensive too. So I mean, you're putting your time into it, which if you're sending it to the right people, they're going to realize that. I mean, they're going to look at the back of the card, and you could even add your, you could add a sticker or something like that if you have a special.
How about using
scan and cut? Yeah, you can personalize it and let them know that you've created it. But
can you tell I'm ready to work on a fun project over there? I think I should do cards. That would be great. In fact, if I sent them out now and I was early, hey, Cindy, in your show this afternoon, can we do cards?
Well, that was what I was gonna say. I actually have one over there that we could talk about cards. Yes.
Ooh,
I think that's wonderful. We're just gonna hang out all day. It's just like the Three Musketeers. So very fun. Everybody's saying, hey, so ask your questions. Don't worry. I know there's a delay, so we're not hanging up because Cindy's we're going to talk about the sweaters, but Joanne has to pitch into that one too, because I love her story.
I love the ideas that are coming in though. You guys have some great ideas for upping this and adding to it, making it special. So good.
Definitely. Mary, you haven't missed it. We haven't talked about the sweaters yet. We're talking about the sweaters now. You want to start that, Cindy?
Sure. So Angela and I want to challenge all of you all, and Joanne's joining us in this challenge, to make ugly sweaters with us. It doesn't have to be completed, or sweatshirts, or a shirt, or pants, something, or a beautiful sweater that you can redecorate. It doesn't have to necessarily be ugly, but we want to get in the Christmas spirit here, or if you have a different holiday that you celebrate, obviously you can make an ugly Hanukkah sweater if you would like to. So,
or New Year's Eve sweater,
A
or
winter sweater. Yeah.
birthday sweater.
and you can use any of the tools in your arsenal. You can use your scan and cuts. You can use your embroidery machines. You can pick what we would like to kind of make sure that you hashtag Brother Sews Ugly Sweater Challenge.
There you go.
Yes, over the top. Truly, Lucy. We want them over the top. We want y'all to have fun.
Something that you wouldn't normally do for every day, right?
Yeah, it's not something that you would pull out of your wardrobe and wear every day. You do want to take it a little over the top. So I actually have a start of one that's not quite over the top enough yet. So
we want to see your, Cindy, because I think you're going to help give us a little bit of tips for embroidery. So those of you that are getting started, so the hashtag for this one is, well, you'll do 2 hashtags. I'll post them in while Cindy, go ahead and show your sweater off and I'll post these up.
Okay. So this is my thrift store sweater. All right. And it's a nice wool sweater, but it didn't quite fit. The sleeves were a little bit too big for me. So I thought, well, this is a good one to go with. It is felted wool. And I have started mine. I'm going to tease you with the first part. I have used the felting attachment on my PQ 1500 to felt myself a Santa belt, basically. The bottom of mine is totally felted with yarn into my wool. Now, I did use the PQ 1500. There is an attachment. Joanne.
Yeah.
You are my attachment queen. Does the felting attachment for the Dream work on the Luminaire?
No, it does not. But it does work on the like the BQ. I don't remember all the models.
It comes with the PQ 1500. It came with last year's model.
There's the quilt series machines that have this. If it has the same bobbin cover that the Dream machine had, it will work on those. I could pop in the models. I don't have them off the top of my head, but there are several other models that it will.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if that worked with our Luminaire. I just remember the PQ 1500 does this in a heartbeat. The Dream machine one, I had to go slower. So I started it on the Dream machine, and I'm like under the time crunch and said, no, we're not. We're going to have to go there and go massive.
Well, that PQ machine is so industrial-like that it has the speed.
And you can just hammer it in. It does not, there is no, yes, I'm on a Mrs. Claus sweater. So also, just to give you, I'm a button person. I don't know about y'all, but I like fancy buttons. So I took off all of the boring buttons that were on this sweater, and I put really shiny red ones on it for my Mrs. Claus sweater.
That's a good idea.
And then there's some other things on here. Do I share any of the rest of it, or shall we wait?
Oh, I think you should give us some tips, because I see somebody asking, can I do t-shirt? Yes, you could even do boxer shorts if you want.
Pajamas.
All right. So I had to add embroidery to it. So at the bottom,
bring you up here so they can see.
So at the bottom, I have my trees, and then you'll notice I am buttons. So I went and found all kinds of Olaf buttons, because we are a Disney. We sponsor Disney, or Disney is on our machines. And then there's snowmen, there's reindeer, there's a little bit of tacky all around this. But like I said, it's not quite tacky enough yet. This is as far as I've gotten. I have my trees all the way around it. I have my buttons all the way around it. And I have my Santa band, my Mrs. Claus band at the bottom.
Cindy, I just have to ask, can you bring that closer? Are those dogs in the snow, or what are they?
Reindeer.
Reindeer. Oh. All I was thinking was, I don't know if I want dogs in the snow around my tree.
We've got reindeer. We have the snowmen. We have, I just found a bunch of cute little winter buttons.
Oh, now we can see them better. Yes, so it's not dogs. marking their territory.
That is too cute. It's too cute to be ugly.
But it's way too cute.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't made it. I haven't gone over the top yet. Wait, this is just the start.
I gotta tell you, I need better glasses.
So you have to kick it off. But I mean, just to be able to bring in software to it, I did digitize my Christmas trees. They are mine. And you know, you got to play with what your strengths are. That is one of my strengths. I used water soluble, just so you know, on the back and the front of my sweater, so that it would go away. And it really, I mean, it holds it nicely if you do that, because I didn't do a real heavy stitch on anything.
Mary says, "Oh, Angela, when's the last time you saw a reindeer?" Oh, probably last Christmas.
Well, applique is great for sweater knit, so that's a really good idea to start with something.
Everybody's loving the buttons, by the way.
And then you can embellish them.
It can be, actually, most of these sweaters are cute.
Yeah.
I would have to say, I think last year, and I wish I would have bought the outfit because I think the store closed now, but it had the cutest, like, I think they had taken Santa pants kind of thing and then put a bib. It was you could have worn it like by itself, kind of. Well, might have been a little risque, or with a sweater, but like it had a bib and all of this was decorated all the way around. It was so stinking cute. So I think I cannot wait to see what people put together, but this is going to be fun, and it's going to be cute sweaters, cute over the top, maybe a little tacky. Now,
an apron would be another idea.
That was what I was about to say. Is aprons could be or would be a good one.
Yeah, and actually, we used an apron from one of our friends. If you guys go back, you can watch the sew along for that. Do that with some felt and stuff would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Molly is going to have a whole different market for her aprons. So just a couple of things, because I know people are going to start asking, like, what would be some ideas? You just said what stabilizer you used. So if it's water soluble on the front and back and it disappears, is there anything they need to be worried about for the design that they pick or anything like that?
If it's a real stitch intensive design, I would probably add at least a tearaway with it. Just, if it starts buckling, you want to add a tearaway. Mine actually didn't buckle. And I mean, they're not super lightweight, but they're not super dense. Mm-hmm. And I actually did it straight to it, but Joanne's felt idea, if you want to use this later, you could actually stitch them on felt. If you use the stiff craft felt, you could then scan it into your scan and cut those bad boys out, and then put a pin on the back of them and pin them to your project.
Speaking of, Joanne, why don't you just fill us in how you cannot stand to leave your sweater tacky?
Well, okay, so I did one, and I'll redo it this year. I was challenged one year to do one, and I'm so practical. It's just how I am. I can't stand to have anything in my closet that is like totally not wearable. So I made a red sweater. I had sweater knit from my stash. It actually had the ribbing already on it, and then I had extra rib pieces. I worked in a place at one time many, many years ago, and they actually knitted the sweater knit there. So I was able to stock up on some beautiful sweater knit. So I made the sweater. I made it like tunic length. And then I sewed bells all over it by hand, just with tying it with yarn, and had some tacky little sayings on there. And when I was done with the challenge, I took all the tacky stuff off, and I've worn that sweater with the turtleneck underneath and a pair of tights or a pair of jeans and my boots, and it's not ugly anymore. So.
And somebody says, does it have to have embroidery? No, you can do whatever you want to make this a beautiful, lovely holiday sweater.
Just something fun to work on, maybe something you've laying around the house. Maybe go through some of your stuff that like you find buttons on stuff. I could probably go through a few things in Wynn's closet that I've shrunk that he doesn't know I've shrunk yet.
And it doesn't have to be red either, right? I see somebody on here said that somebody doesn't like red. I know not everybody likes red. Not everybody wears red.
You want.
Yeah.
Any color you want. It's your sweater, by the way.
Just
Your
think
sweater,
outside the
your
box
pants,
and
your
do
shirt, your apron, somebody said hat, you can do that. You can do whatever you'd like. If somebody's hair is red, I understand not liking red. You can do black and bling the black. I mean, there's
Oh,
so
I like
many.
that. Black and silver. That's my favorite
silver
color.
or gold or something like that too. That's fun.
I mean, I do have a sweater that has silver snowflakes and bling on it. It's not ugly, but you can go for pretty. Just make it over the top.
I think that's such a fun idea. So I know somebody's gonna say, so what do I win? It's a challenge.
Why am
You
I
don't
doing this?
It's a fabulous outfit to wear. But that being said, the Social Hop 2020 started today with a ton of giveaways, which is not sponsored by Brother. I'm just mentioning it because it's just something really fun to do. You'll see us girls on there. We go to different pages. That's a good place to show off your new sweaters too. So it's on my website down below. So just keep that in mind. So bragging rights, that's exactly it. And if you post the photos on Instagram or Facebook and you use the hashtag, I'm going to give you that hashtag and also use the hashtag Brother Sews. Okay. You're always safe if you use Brother Sews, but if you also add the ugly sweater, we'll know for sure it was for that. But Brother Sews, they'll see it, and maybe we could have a special show. We'll have to get that clarified that we're allowed to do that. But maybe we could have a show where we could show all of you off and show your fabulous outfits. If we can't do it on the Brother page, we can do it on my page. So we could do that on a Wednesday too. So
think how many people you're going to inspire though with your out of the box thinking though too. So
yeah, and that's the thing is like you just showed buttons. I could see designing my own buttons with embroidery or making cool buttons on my own with some things that I'm decorating the tree with tonight. I mean, there's so many things that you could do. And if you have the scan and cut, you really could have a lot of fun. You got an embroidery machine, you just have a sewing machine, it doesn't matter. Get creative, and we cannot wait to see.
Yeah, just have a blast with it. It's something fun to give us all a little bit of a holiday boost here. We've all been tucked away in our own little worlds for so long that we thought Angela and I thought this would be fun. We were just going to challenge each other, but we decided that, hey, we would bring you all into it.
There's the cat. This is how bored we've been. This is my new side. Thanks, Susan.
This is her favorite spot.
Yeah. I have squirrels, and they're everywhere. And I've even started naming them. And I'm going to have to buy stock in nuts because they're eating me out of house and home. And why do I just know one of these days they're going to chew through the wall and they're going to end up in our bed, all sleeping.
And you can take your picture in front of whatever you'd like to take it in front of. I don't have a tree this year because I think my fireplace is going to finally get done this month. I think they're going to start on it this month, and I didn't want to put up a tree and get dust all over everything. So
at first I heard fireplace, and I'm thinking you don't have to burn it. Not till January.
My fireplace is there. I have no mantle, and I have no shelves next to it. I've got empty holes in my wall.
Gotcha.
So I am looking forward to having that done. I
might be making a sweater to fit this thing.
Yeah, you could make your pet a sweater. You've got an alpaca. Have fun with that.
I could make my squirrel sweaters. That would be fun.
There you go.
Glenda has Roadrunners. There you go, Glenda.
You got a kangaroo. Have fun. I just think it should be. I think make it fun. Don't make it something you have to do. Make it fun. Just make it over the top a little bit. It could be pretty. It could be cute. It can be truly ugly.
I do see somebody here asking about felting, and we did do on the Brother-sponsored It's So Easy TV show. There is a felting show on there. So if you go on the, I can if somebody wants to know exactly where that is, just ask, and we'll let you know where that is. But
yeah,
we use the Brother felting attachment.
Just Trixie's big.
Hey June, that's my friend June. June's my friend.
So a few other ideas, because I saw some other things laying around here, is if you wanted to sew from scratch, you could find just a generic pattern for like a t-shirt or something like that, make it a little bit bigger, because it could turn into a sweater, or just use the t-shirt. That's one idea. And then you could actually dye the fabric. I can think of so many ways here. I can hardly wait to see this. I wonder if you could dye the fabric with trees in it or snowflakes.
You could ink your fabrics. You can, I mean, I've got fabric inks that I could play with if I were doing my own fabric kind of thing.
Actually, you could do it on the Scan and Cut with the ink.
You could create stamps for that. Yes.
It's a great way to test something out that you haven't done before on some of your brother equipment, you know, your Scan and Cut or your machine. And because it's not really gonna, I mean, it's not something you're gonna be wearing all year round, and it's just something to have fun with. So great way to test something out.
I'm thinking about felting on white felt so that I can make a longer sleeves, and now I'll have Mrs. Claus sleeves on mine. I haven't decided how I'm going to finish that. I thought about lace in it, and I think that may be
lace. Oh, I love lace. I think I would have to do a lace one. What a good idea.
That would be good. That would be a good idea.
Oh, all these ideas. So if you guys have any ideas for us, share it, because we can't wait.
We're brainstorming here, aren't we? Off the cuff.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody's saying all the brainstorming. Everybody wants to know what
so many toys.
You're on the mission to find out what episode that was. I have a YouTube video on that too to show you how to do felt. I think if you go to Joanne's YouTube, my YouTube, and it's so easy, you'll find it in there. Just kind of search for felting.
Yeah.
Mine I did on the PQ 1500. Yep. I also did one on an older machine. It wasn't brother related. They don't sell it anymore, but it wasn't as fast as the one on the PQ 1500. So keep that in mind.
That you know, that PQ 1500 has a beautiful straight stitch on it, but it felt like a dream as well. It's the bomb.
Yeah. Making her brain hurt. Hey, Donna, you're going to have to come back and watch it from scratch because we have a lot of information in here, but we're talking about a ugly sweater challenge right now. So, Joanne, anything else you got going on the blog that they need to know about? Because right now, a lot of people are cramming.
Really good quickie for you. Okay. I love making, as much as I love making greeting cards, I love making gift bags too. And that's part of the practical side of me, that I like something that isn't going to just, you know, get trashed and can be maybe reused again or shown. So on the Brother blog right now, just a few days ago, came out the confetti gift bag. And this is made with just plain ordinary organza. And if you've been making lace designs, you might have netting, you might have organza from, you know, doing all of Angela's beautiful lace designs. You probably have some leftovers. You can use any color you want. And the blog shows you how I sandwiched little snippets of bright colored fabric, little bits of ribbon, and bits of thread. So you can cut the thread right off your spools. I happen to save a lot of my thread snips when I pull it through the multi-needle. You have to tie it on, and so you waste a little bit of thread, and I don't like to waste, so I keep those, and I use those for confetti on different projects. But you layer it between the two layers of organza, and then you just sew up a quick little bag. I made it with water soluble, the Brother water soluble mesh stabilizer, so that it feels like you're sewing through fabric, and then sew it into a bag. And I'll untie it and show you. It is a great little way to add the little gourmet chocolates. Give somebody, you can make these really quick, give somebody a thank you gift, carry them around with you if you're shopping and you're seeing people that you normally, you know, see during the holidays time. Or you could make this as party favors, put it on your table setting. I think the cat likes the chocolates.
I'm thinking your cat does. And also on here, I have your blog post. Let's see if I can bring it up. Sorry about that. Here we go.
The whole idea would be really easy to resize. So if you want to make it into a larger bag, you can do that. Just follow the same basic instructions. It's really, really easy to do. I'm all about easy and all about coming up with something fun that you can use to give as gifts.
What a great idea. You know, I just swept my floor. Why did I do that? I should have just waited. I could have thrown it all into a bag.
Yeah. I have thread catchers next to every one of my machines to do that with.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I have a little container that I throw mine in. I've used it to make ornaments. Now she wants to play with the ribbon. But you know, you could, it's once it's trapped in there, see the stitches, that are, you see in that picture there, that's actually trapping all the pieces so they don't shift around, they don't move. And when you're done, it's just a really cool little technique. And I have actually another little tip for you on there. I don't know about you guys, but it is always so hard for me to get that bow tied pretty and have that top look nice. So necessity is the mother of invention. One day I was trying to do it, and had a bunch to do, and I was like, what if I took a rubber band? So if I take a rubber band and I secure that with a rubber band, and then I could kind of fluff it out, tie the ribbon on, and then when I'm done, I just clip the rubber band and throw it away, and you got a really nice, neat tied little bow.
Now that's a good idea.
Yeah. That's a real good idea.
See if I can bring this back up. So I like the stitching. This is what I do when I stick yarn in there for scarves, which there's
you can use yarn
on blog, Brother Sews as well.
Anything you could stitch through. Anything you could stitch through. It's all fair game. And then you could add things to the outside if you want. So Cindy, you could add your buttons. Add some of your pretty buttons on the outside when you're done.
Not only that, this might be kind of a fun idea because you could make any shape. You could do different shapes, wash away that stabilizer, and guess what? You could add something to your ugly sweater.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, we're thinking alike. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Make it an ugly scarf.
Make appliques. Yeah.
Oh,
it is a similar technique to the scarf that you've done in the past, Angela.
I love that scarf.
Very
Actually,
similar.
I just pulled it back out because I always love to wear it about this time of year. Well, it's not supposed to snow yet, at least. And it just tucks inside, to keep my neck, warm. Inside
I see. Marty Lynn has a great idea. Potpourri.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You know what, Marty? I remember I still have a couple gifts that people gave me that had potpourri, and the potpourri doesn't smell anymore, but I still have those, and I would always put them in a couple of my drawers.
Oh, wow. I see a dear friend on here, my friend Denise Hansel, that I have not seen in many, many, many years. So a hug and a kiss going out to you, Denise. We had a lot of great times together. I got a good holiday story too with her. But
one that you could share? Does it have to do with another?
Yeah, we went to a big holiday event far away from where we both live, and we had car trouble on the way home, and we had to walk in the freezing weather to get. We got a tow truck to come and get her car, but he felt so sorry for us that he drove us all the way to where we had next planned to go to a restaurant to eat.
Are you serious?
We had somebody else come and pick us up, so he saved our holiday for us. But
only Joanne could get somebody to do that.
We just gave him our sob story. You know what we really had planned to do today? We don't get to do this very often. It was a holiday thing for us.
Funny.
So, yeah.
That's a great story. Well, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you. I hope we have filled you with a ton of inspo. That would be inspiration for making an ugly or pretty or just something really cool that you can't wait to share. And you know what? It's probably going to be something you're going to love. And if you don't glue it on so you can take it off.
Sewing is all about having fun, isn't it? It's all about
it. Stockings, a door decoration. I mean, I can sit here and think of all day of things that I could decorate over the top. And that's what we're looking for.
Patricia, we're going to convert you into a brother girl. You're already converted.
We're all brother sisters, right? Brother sisters and brothers.
Oh, thanks, Joanne. So don't forget to post the photos, and if you want more information on the Social Hop 2020, today starts the first day. And if you go to angelawolf.com, you'll see the link there. And every day you're going to go to a different page. And this whole time, we're just thanking Brother for allowing us to have live shows anyways, which is fabulous. And so don't forget, what's the deadline for the sweater? Well, our last live show is the Tuesday before Christmas. And then we're taking a break for the week of that between then and New Year's to give all of us a 1 week vacation there.
I'll be done on that Tuesday. As practical as I am, I'm usually last minute too. So mine will be done on that Tuesday.
Yeah. So let's plan that Tuesday will be the deadline. But during the live shows, because we have a ton of live shows. So the calendar, I'm getting ready to post that on the blog as well, the whole calendar for Brother. And also, if you go to Brother's Facebook page, Brother Sews, they have a whole event page where you can see all of the live shows, including Cindy has a live show on Tuesdays right after this one, which we're going to be doing Scan and Cut, right?
Yes.
Can we crash your party?
Yes, crash my party all you want.
Excellent. And then Wednesday, I have a live show at 1:30. Emily has one at 3. So there's so many things. And everybody, the theme is pretty much getting ready for the holidays. If it's decorating, if it's, I'm actually cooking these days, but I won't be adding that on here. That might be a little embarrassing. And then the whole week, let's see, the 14th through the 18th, we have live shows every single day with a lot of people showing up for each show. We've got Brother Educators, we have the Brother Brand Ambassadors, and you're going to get just short 10 and 15-minute quick projects. So fun stuff. We'll fill you with inspiration. Right, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Might even have a cat show up.
Or a pup.
And in between all of that,
in the room until we're done.
Yes.
At 4:30, she's telling me it's time to go for a walk. And it snowed here yesterday. It's so cold here.
oh, boo-hoo. Joanne had like...
we've got about a foot out there. Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know if you probably got it too. Stay safe.
I really
Good
can't
sewing
stand
weather.
the snow compared to what she has. We have a dusting.
Good sewing weather, though. Definitely.
Yes.
Yes. And don't forget when you post the photos of your, even if you post photos of while you're working on the sweater, we'd love to see how you're doing it. So be sure to share hashtag Brother Sews. They'll see that and we'll see that. And we can hardly wait. So no snow in Houston. So thank you guys for watching today. And Cindy, we'll pop over to Cindy's page at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you there. Otherwise, see you next time.
Happy
Bye,
sewing.
everyone.
Bye, guys.